Our engine room is breached.
Playing the objective is for people that don't have straws, alright? And I'm about to hit this, by the way. I don't even care where you are.
I should probably use the MG4 right now, or the AWS.
Got him from downtown.
Hello guys, my name is TheRussianBadger, and I want to say thank you, number one, for helping me out with the live stream last weekend. We ended up completing the 50-hour extreme stream. It was actually a lot of fun, and we ended up raising around $5,200 for the Children of Nepal orphanage that Charity Stream's contributing to. I guess I was still sort of cheesing because I had 6 Red Bulls throughout the entire stream. So, I mean, 6 Red Bulls over 50 hours, that's still kind of cheesing, but that's a minimal amount of Red Bull per hour. So I still think it's pretty significant that I stayed up the entire time. But I know a lot of you got a little bit butthurt about the whole, how the charity would... I basically said that I want every child in Nepal to have a brand new pair of Air Jordans, and apparently a lot of you thought I was serious. It's like, I don't actually want every single child in Nepal to have... Well, actually, if I could, but I don't think it's feasible for me to get every single child in Nepal a pair of Air Jordans. That's just not all that plausible, at least if you ask me. But you know what? I'm sorry that I'm not sorry that I stated it that way. Those of you that took it too seriously, come on now. They don't care where the money comes from. They don't care that it comes from a live stream. Like, those who care don't know, and those who know don't care. All right? That's the way it works, and that's what I'll leave it at. But I'm not here to talk about live streaming anymore. I'm going to be live streaming actually tonight and tomorrow. Like, as soon as I upload this video, I'll even leave a link in the description. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about boats. All right? I mean, I guess a little bit about Rush as well, but just boats. And a new addition to this whole naval strike shenanigans is obviously, well, I got a little carried away because, number one, for the longest time, just so you guys know, for the longest time, I have had the spot button on Q, all right? And so, for some reason, I put it on Q, but my prone is also Q. So anytime that I would spot something, I would go prone. And then I tried to put it on X, which was actually working out quite well because I could just run around and spot everybody with X, but then anytime that I would try to use X or spot something in a vehicle, obviously I would deploy my countermeasures and look like an idiot. Because, like, Badger, why are you firing flares? We're not even out of the boat yet. Like, what are you doing? So that didn't work out, the X button, so I think I just changed it back to Q, and then I changed my prone back to X. So I just made everything to default to what it was. I know that's pretty silly, but whatever. The boat is still going to work out in my favor, and I don't know how. I'm not exactly sure how this boat didn't see me, but one little word of advice right here. Always go for I will call them the chain gunners. I know oftentimes, Badger or Catfish, dude, they're not chain gunners. Well, they're mini guns, whatever you like to call it. The big thing that shreds you in half now, and it shreds you in half more so than it did previously. I know this also affected the little bird, which is absolutely outrageous. I just find it so hilarious that Witchetty Bear is even better now. Now that he has this chain gun at his disposal, it's ridiculously good. From what I saw, from what I tested out, I believe it's something like 2 shots to the head will kill somebody instantly. I mean, this is almost point blank. And I think it's 4 to the body. But with this rate of fire, it's basically a laser beam anyway, so I don't think aim is necessarily a huge deal. And for some reason, these guys just kept coming back for more. It's like in and out bird. What are you doing, Carl? Like, Captain Cup, why are you back? I just didn't really understand. And when the boat doesn't really work because you don't want to get sniped in the face, that's usually the biggest threat, especially when you're on that minigun. You can always just use the awesome sauce gun, the AWS, the awesome sauce. Well, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but everybody does the whole awesome thing. Granted, awesome is spelled A-W-E, like A-W-E-S-O-M-E instead of A-W-S-O. That's kind of awesome, but there's no... I'm just trying to dissect exactly how somebody would get awesome out of AWS, and I understand it, but you're still not spelling the word correctly, which is outrageous. I'm sorry about the emblem, alright? There was a fan that made that emblem for me of my face, and I still think it's pretty disgusting. I know Kia thinks it's disgusting, and I know Edgar just hates it, so that's kind of the reason that I still run it. If you guys really want this emblem, I can make it copyable, but it's... I'm still not sure how I feel about it at this point, because it's just... It's so bad, but it's so good. Like, the detail that this fan got out of 40 layers, and I know you can't unsee it now. Come on, Carl, I think I'm already on like a 10 kill streak already. It's like, haven't you learned your lesson that if you come to this section of the island, you're gonna die? Like, is that not a given at this point in time? And now I know. You can't unsee it. Now that you've seen it on my AWS, you can't unsee it. There it is on the boat again, and I'm having a struggle fest. It's kind of... You know when somebody asks you, oh man, are you going to rock the boat? Well, I was kind of taking that way too literally because it's not shoving itself very far. But then again, I didn't really need it to shove itself very far. For some reason, this big barf of boat didn't see me. And every single time, if you do it correctly, like for example, if the boat gunner, the main boat gunner, that guy that just happens to, oh, my only job is to fire a TV missile. Let's not take into account any of our surroundings ever, dude. I'm in my TV missile, leave me alone. I know that you guys have seen that with multiple boat drivers, but essentially, if you get the 2 chain gunners on the side, everybody else is easy pickings. If the main boat gunner doesn't see you and you get those 2 chain gun guys, easy peasy. You can probably destroy him, but you're definitely going to want to make sure that you get those chain gunners and anybody repairing beforehand. Same thing with the SRAW. I mean, if you can direct impact people on the side of the boat before you start actually trying to take it down physically or trying to destroy it, it makes your job so much easier. Number one, you're not going to get picked off by miniguns, which are obviously outrageously good at this point with the buff. I don't know why that even happened. I think this is sort of my opinion on it. I think on boats, it was totally perfect previously, but I think what DICE did is they tried to buff the helicopter ones. I don't know if they're all under sort of the same type of code. I don't know if you change the stats on one chain gun or one minigun, it affects everything. So it affects the side gunners of the large boats and then the rib boats and also, dude, that would also count for the transport helicopters. I don't know if they've all been buffed, but it seems to me like they've all been buffed, like at the same rate. And I think what makes it different is in a helicopter, usually like, oh, this is not all that powerful because oftentimes you don't have a leveled out surface to fire upon. It's not like you're just easily aiming at your enemy. You're usually flapping around like a marionette because your pilot's a Carl and is about to crash you into a mountain or something. But you definitely notice it in the boats. Just because you're always on a steady surface like this, I can pick off people from way back here. I'm doing like minimal tapping, and they're all just going down extremely easily. I'm not going to say that they're overpowered, but I would definitely say that they're completely fair and balanced and should not be touched whatsoever. And Alan Kurtz should receive some kind of Nobel Peace Prize, the equivalent for video game programming. That's definitely a very, very good idea. You guys should look into that. And I just find it hilarious how something so previously was mediocre, now it's just outrageously effective. But I still think the rib boat oftentimes can outdo some of the attack boats if the attack boat has a really naive driver, because those guys on the side of those large attack boats don't have the same sort of, I don't want to say field of view, but they can't move at 360 degrees. They've only got like maybe 180 degrees of movement, but you've got the full 360, which is why the rib boat is just so outrageously good. And it usually takes like 2 to 3 javelins to take down, which is already just so laughable. But I would like to thank you guys very much for watching. I know it was basically just AWS and boat cheese, but I just wanted to show you what's capable. In some of the smaller Rush games, usually between like 24 and 40 players, you can do this exact same thing if you'd like to. But I'd like to thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Auf Wiedersehen und bis bald und later.
I don't get it. Like, you approach from the bottom, and then you get in, and then you wiggle around in the engine. Like, what?
What did you do?
It's this glitch. Like, Kia, come over here. I'm just off the
Wait, hold on. I'm heading over there. What did you do?
What do you have, a hovercraft?
No, I have a jet ski.
Alright.
Holy shit, you guys are so far away.
You just enter from the bottom, and then you wiggle around inside, like, the bottom of the engine. Like, look. It looks like you're not even driving. Look, okay, go under. What? What?
You look like normal on mine.
Not on mine. I do not look normal on mine, unless you wiggle around inside the bottom of, like, a storage compartment in a jet ski. Maybe that's like a European thing.